Om Śri Sāi Om Śri Sāi Satpurushāya Namaḥ. Salutation to Śri Sai, who is the true cosmic person. Yes, Billy.
All right.
So I'll read the contents. Subsequently, will follow to the presentations. Okay. The Trinity of Sat Chit Ananda, being, awareness, bliss, represents the essential nature of a Brahma, the ultimate divine rarity. Baba has a special way to convey in simple language the highest philosophical concepts. To illuminate the above profound philosophical terms, he compares Sat with water and Chit with sugar. When the two are mixed, the result is syrup, the Ananda, bliss. This bliss is not a fleeting emotion, but rather a deep, abiding joy that arises from the awareness of one's true being. Baba is the embodiment of this true being. Sat is also the Purusha, the universal consciousness that transcends individual identities and physical forms. Purusha is the unchanging, eternal essence that witnesses the observer's unaffected the fluctuation of the material realm of Prakriti. The famous hymn Purusha Suktam from the Rig Veda starts with a verse that Swami repeatedly quotes in his discourses. I'm not very versed to chant this one, and I will continue, which translates to Purusha has 1,000 heads, 1,000 eyes, and 1,000 feet. All beings are manifestations of the cosmic person. That's why Baba says, whoever you meet me. Whoever you meet me. Seeing him in everyone as a Sat Purusha is the means to cultivate a sense of compassion, love, and service towards all humanity. Separateness is an illusion. Treating others with respect and love is the direct path to the realizations of the oneness of all. So the some reflections. The first one, what would I do to cultivate my sense of compassion, love, and service to humanity, and thereby see myself and everyone as embodiments of the divine? Question number 2. How does the awareness that Sai is pervasive and he is cosmically present everywhere influence our day-to-day living? Yes, Burberry, you can continue.
Okay, now before that, let's go back to the text, okay? Here, it mentioned about how Swami compares Sat as water and Chit as sugar. If we drink just water, it's very plain. And if we try to eat sugar, it's so dry, right? But when the two mix together, it becomes syrup and it's very nice. Okay, so here's, he said that the Trinity, the combination of Sat, Chit, Ananda. So when you mix water, you have sugar, and you have what they call you have bliss. So this itself is the essential nature of Brahma. Okay, so the text here, the verse here is salutation to Śri Sāi, who is the true cosmic person. So I was looking at the questions, okay? I think before we can really answer the questions, we need to really understand what is meant by a true cosmic person. Okay? When we talk about true cosmic person, we talk about three things, okay? Omniscient, omnipotence, omnipresent. Omniscient means all-knowing. Omnipotence, all-powerful. Omnipresent, present everywhere, okay? As this is supposed to be a mirror, okay? So perhaps this is the high philosophy part, okay? Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Perhaps let's look at something more down to earth. All right. So what are the characteristics of a true cosmic person? Okay. So this is where a true cosmic person often refer as to a universal person, or one with a cosmic consciousness, embodies qualities and characteristics that transcend individuality and align with the interconnectedness of the universe. These traits are deeply rooted in spiritual wisdom, compassion, and selflessness. Here are some key characteristics. Okay, so one of the characteristics of a true cosmic person is universal love and compassion. Okay, so a cosmic person radiates unconditional love and compassion towards all beings, irrespective of their race, religion, or background. Their love is not selective. It encompasses all forms of life and the environment. Okay. So the questions we need to ask ourselves is, do we have this universal love and compassion? Or are we trying to achieve this? All right. So this is where during the light meditation, Swami has mentioned that we should what they call radiate the love in our heart to all, okay, those who like us and those who do not like us, okay, and to all beings, okay, and to the whole world, okay. So this is something for those of us who practice light meditation. We're trying to, the light meditation actually help us to acquire these characteristics of a true cosmic person. Some voices, okay. Now next is selflessness and humility. A true cosmic person prioritizes the welfare of others over their personal desires and ego. Humility defines their actions. They see themselves as instrument of a higher purpose rather than as separate individual. All right. So do we have this quality of selflessness? Do we prioritize the welfare of others over our own personal desires and ego? And do we have that humility? The third characteristics of a true cosmic person is inner peace and equanimity. Okay. So they maintain a state of inner tranquility, unaffected by external challenges or dualities like joy and sorrow, success and failure. So they are never what they call affected, by these two extremes, okay? And equanimity allows them to view life's event with acceptance and understanding. So this is number 3, inner peace and equanimity. The fourth one is wisdom and awareness. Their wisdom comes from deep spiritual insight and an understanding of the interconnectedness of all existence. They are aware of the unity and diversity, seeing the divine or universal essence in everything. Okay, so do we see unity in diversity? And do we see the divine or universal essence in everything? This is characteristics number 4. Next, number 5. Self-realization. A cosmic person is one who have realized his or her true nature, often referred to as the self, the Atman, or divine consciousness. This realization removes the illusion of separateness and ego, leading to a state of oneness with the cosmos. Altruism and service. Serving others selflessly become the way of life as they recognize that serving others is equivalent to service the divine. The action are guided by a sense of duty without attachment to the outcome. Then number 7, respect for nature. A true cosmic person honor and protects the environment. Understand that it is the integral part of the cosmic order. Living sustainably and harmoniously with nature is a natural expression of their consciousness. Then number 8 is spiritual detachment. While actively participating in the world, they remain unattached to material possessions, desires, or outcome. This detachment enables them to act with clarity and purpose, free from bondage. Then number 9 is inclusivity and tolerance. A true cosmic person embraces all paths, faiths, and beliefs as valid expressions of the universal truth. Tolerance and inclusivity are central to the interactions with others. And then number 10 is inspiration and leadership. A true cosmic person naturally inspires others through their words, actions, and presence. They lead by example, embodying the virtues they espoused. And so therefore, in essence, a true cosmic person is one who lives in harmony with the universe, embodying divine qualities while being fully present in the world. Their life is the testament to the unity of all creation and beacon of hope for those seeking spiritual awakening. All right? So perhaps let's go back to number 1 and see whether we truly understand all this, okay? So number 1 is universal love and compassion, okay? Any comments from all of you?
I think we need to maybe spend a little bit time to understand the word universal love.
Yeah, so here is universal love is unconditional love and compassion towards all beings. Oh yes, Sabitan.
Yeah, Sairam, brother Willie, Sairam, everyone. Happy Pongal to all. So to reach this universal love, it's not a very easy thing. It's, in my opinion, is the disidentification has to happen. In ourselves, there's in our experience, there's this ego mind which creates this thought of I and mine. So as long as these thoughts of I and mine are prioritized by you, the awareness, you will be hooked on to your lower self, which is moving away from your universal self, which is your Atmic consciousness. So, in order for you to disidentify, there needs to be something that you're doing, either your spiritual sadhana or in whatever way, meditation, self inquiry. So, Swami says self inquiry is the best way in order for you to attain liberation. So, once you move on with this inquiry, and every time you disidentify with your thoughts, there is a space that will form between you and yourself, and your thoughts and your feelings and your body, physical body, your energy body, your intellect body. So you start to realize that, oh, okay, these sheets are part of of this existing perception, but not necessarily me. And then what happens is eventually there will come a time that the love, because all the while the identification with the body mind complex confines your love of you to think that this is you, the limited identity is the real identity. So once you break free from that, you will feel the sense of expansiveness, and the expansiveness will not so it happens in grades. In just in my experience, is initially you just feel like, oh, okay, I just want to do my things. I go to bhajan, I come back from bhajan, and it's okay. Maybe once in a week I go and do some sai activity, then I'm done. So then it's that. And then somewhere down the line you realize it expands even more than that. Then you realize, like, okay, now maybe weekdays also I can do something. And then it expands even beyond that, meaning to say that every moment you are connecting with Swami in a sense that, okay, what can I do next? How can I improve this program? How can so I'm coming to a new place, okay, what I can do here, how I can spread this love. So then what happens is that you feel like this love is reciprocated by the universe itself, in the sense that whatever you're doing is, you feel like it's help. It just like you feel supported. You starting a new program here, and then suddenly people will come and approach you and say, oh, okay, so I'm from this governmental agency, and then this person will say, oh, okay, I'm looking for this program. And then but in no time you feel like, oh, okay, I just thought of it and it's already happening. And you feel so supported that from by the universe that all your identification, even the form that Swami has, even though it's very beautiful, it's wonderful and all that, it expands to every single person, all the deities, all the gods, everything. You start to see Swami in everyone, and you start feeling so much of intense love as you're walking, as you're driving, as the feeling of opposite to loneliness. Some people feel lonely, when you're getting old, or when your partner leaves you and you are just at your home, or when you're taking a long drive by yourself. So the opposite of that, you feel so full. You just feel like, I don't know how to explain the feeling now, but it's a wonderful feeling, and it starts with the disidentification of your limited self. Tairam.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sabitan.
I just want to add one point. You see, if you look at the Pongal today, every home they will put boiled milk, and then they will put early morning that's a certain fixed time, and then they will put in the cooker or oven and wait for not oven cooker, and then they will wait for the milk to boil, and then the boiling milk will go all the way up and up, and then while it is reaching the top of then it sort of like overflows, and they all wait for that overflowing moment in which it should flow over the pot. And then as they say that, they all say, or people say, Pongalo, Pongal, and all that. We can treat it like a ritual like that, but honestly, if it's one of the most spiritual significances if you understand the real meaning, because milk is white, and that if it's just within the limits of the pot, It's conditional. You're conditioned. This white, pure love is conditioned. And this, the 80-90% of the human population has this kind of love. I love you, I love you, I love you. It's all for the purpose of this. But the key point of spirituality is to make sure that the pure white love continues to rise and rise and rise, and it must spill over. In other words, it must go beyond. What beyond means, it must go beyond your understanding, you go beyond your religion, go beyond your caste, your love, like that. It must overflow. So that overflowing of that love is actually what universal love is all about. Then we start to appreciate, we start to connect to humanity, we start to understand culture, different culture, feel the pain, like that oneness we must create, and that is what the spirit is all about. So like that today, since we're talking about universal love, and today happened to be Pongal or Pongal, the whole idea is, and when we are empathetically connecting ourselves to everybody, automatically the trigger for compassion will also start. You're compassionate for other people, you're compassionate for this. Like the fires that is happening now in Los Angeles is really very scary, and not only scary, but very, very painful, because so many, how many acres of trees. And we called our Sai devotees in Los Angeles and in California, and they said that the fire was coming to their houses, and evacuation was already, they were planning to evacuate, they were told to evacuate. But luckily, by Bhagwan's grace, luckily the wind blew differently, and then the wind went somewhere else. I mean, the fire went somewhere else. So like that, when you see the agony and the anguish of others also, we can only sit here and give prayers of peace and happiness and love. And hopefully, in fact, in Malaysia, we had this, I just yeah, this is not a diversion, actually, it is universal love. Years ago, many years ago, the drought was very high here also in Malaysia. The season of dryness, everything was dry, no water, nothing. It was such a miserable place for months. And then they started to have large cartoon where they showed the hands were long because carrying pails of water up and down the flats. It was very, very sad. It was at that moment I telephoned Brother Jega in his office. I phoned him and told him, the secretary told me he was in a meeting. So he said, no, please call urgently. So he came to the phone, and I said, Malaysia is not having rain. It's very bad. It's very drought. He told me, Suresh, I'm in a meeting. So I said, what can we do? We have to do something. So he asked me, what do you want to do? So I told him, the best thing to do is to go up on the top. There was a movie called Shankara Bharanam. I don't know, it's a Telugu movie. I saw this guy going up. I mean, the man went up on the hill and sat with the harmonium and sang Shankara like that, and then the lightning came, thunder came. So it was very fascinating. I said, why don't we go up the hills and sing bhajans? So he said, let me think about it. And then he came back subsequently, and he said from his prayers, he felt that the best thing to do is a yajna. And so on that particular day, which is a public holiday on a Monday, I remember, the eight couples were called, and they had a yajna in Bangsa Center. And he called the Straits Times, Malay Mail, Star, and all these reporters came, and they took snapshots. And they said, and he was told, what will happen? He said, rain will come. Rain will come? Yes, rain will come. So they took down the notes, and they were supposed to publish it in the newspaper next day, And the rain, the yajna started, and in hardly 1 hour, 2 hours from then, the huge wind blew, and there was a big, huge rain. It was flash floods all over. And the next day, the newspaper reported water levels in all the dams in west coast of Malaysia all went up. It was amazing. It was such a powerful technology. So I told the Americans, I told the American devotees that perhaps we should do a yajna in California, get all this. So I called up one or two people to see how we can mobilize that. After all, the technology is available, so that the rain comes and then the fire will go. So anyway, so the point of the story is that love and compassion. So we need to expand above our pot and let the milk overflow to experience this universal love and compassion. And by the way, this is all in conjunction with the word Sat. You see the word Satpurushāya. So it's there. The Sat means higher reality. So if we are having only this much of love, then we are only at one certain reality. But the ideal of that mantra is Satpurushāya, which is embodiment of a reality, higher reality. So we need to increase the frequency of this love to higher levels so that we can vibrate and feel the oneness. So this is how I think this universal love and compassion must go. How do we know that we are not having it? Then maybe we look at any negativity, we have hatred, we have some displeasure, we have something. Then it is contaminating this ideal of universal love. So that is how we make sure that we don't harbor any of these feelings. Saira.
Brother, I just wanted to talk about the universal love. I was just thinking that Swami has very often said, I separated myself from myself so that I can love myself. So I'm wondering that in a love, when we start loving, we should have two identities, isn't it? So how do we, I mean, if there's no ego, how can we have this love for others? That's what I keep always wondering that there has to be some sort of separateness, then only this universal love can come, isn't it? So just wondering that is it correct, or is it how to explain this query?
Okay, any comments from the others?
Sairam, Brother Manoj, just sharing a little. I think
Yeah.
the
No, not vegetarian. Got egg.
Okay, James, I muted those who are talking.
so as we intensify our sadhana and all that, and getting to know more about truth, and then transforming ourselves, evolving ourselves, somehow the thing will arrange, it will grow, even including the love, it will grow. You see the thing will be at a different level. Let's say like certain people, certain character you might not like. A lot of people say 90% don't like that person, but you won't feel that way. You feel that there's something good in that person. What can we do so that the person can bring out the potential, the goodness in him? What is it that he's good at? And then as you spiritual evolve, you listen and see the world at a different angle. It's not like a very daily, very straightforward. It's rather like we are very open, and then you like I wouldn't say judge. You just know that it might not be good and all that, but it doesn't matter. It won't matter to you because inside you are more stable and more calm. So whenever opportunity arises, probably you can share some with those people around. But I think as you evolve spiritually, your love will grow, will open. And this one is like not you arrange, rather like divine arrange everything. You only just the instrument only. So we don't have to wait for that moment to come, or will this happen to me? It doesn't. You just do your sadhana, practice Swami teaching. The love will grow, the surrounding will grow together with you. This is something that since Brother Manoj said, I feel there was something like that, A lot of things just evolve around you. Saram.
Yeah, thank you, Brother James, for your explanation. No, but the thing is that I was just thinking that still there is a trace of ego in me, that I am this body, because universal love means you're loving everybody, whether he's a killer, whether he's a murderer, or whether he's a biggest sinner or something like that. So I was wondering that how to achieve that universal love in this worldly life. I mean, of course, we are all progressing towards that due to our spiritual practices, satsangs, and everything. But I
Sai,
think
you don't have to
it's
go
very
so
difficult.
deep. You just practice what Swami says. Because each and everything you can doubt. So doubt mustn't come. And Swami says something, it is true, it's more practical and is honest and sincere. Look, you don't have to have doubts. You can have doubts in everything. Just get rid of the doubt. Just practice what Swami says. Then only you can reach the goal. In everything you can find a doubt. So you have to get rid of that doubt. Sai Ram.
No, but the doubt also is required to clarify your misunderstanding. So doubts has to be there. That's why that Lord Ramakrishna he asked Ravi Vivekananda that you should have, because once you clarify your doubts, then only your perception becomes very clear. So because we are in this platform here to clarify our doubts only, so that we get more clarity in our thinking. So it's not that, because everybody has some doubt or something in the life, and they reach the higher goal, higher people. Of course, once you accept him as a guru or something, guru will give you the wisdom to clarify the doubts. So that's why I'm wondering that, for me, it's a doubt that Swami has created the world by separating himself. So how to reach that universal love in our life? I mean, of course, we are progressing, but is it practical to get that universal love in living in this world? Sairam.
Perhaps those who are mothers, can experience that because they are separating themselves from themselves, okay? Those with children, so that they can love themselves. Perhaps mothers who are here can maybe share your experience, like what Brother Manoj has said, and I separate myself from myself so that I can love myself.
We are also God, we also have to think like that. So you have to reach that level to love all and serve all.
Sai Ram. May I speak?
Yeah, sure.
When Swami was talking about Hanuman, I think Hanuman had said that when he is in the world doing things, he is Rama's servant. But when he is in meditation, he knows that he and Rama are one. So I think that separate identity, that with the knowledge that we are all one, but then we have this role where we are performing, where those actions are what Swami's teachings are. We follow the values and spread the love, and just like how Brother Suresh was saying about spreading that love, where the whiteness just overflows. I think in the world, that identity, as Brother Mano was asking, is there, and we will have as long as we stay in this body. We know that we have this role to play, and we'll be doing that with that separate identity, with the knowledge that inside we are all one. But in the meditative state, we just became that one universal love. And so I think the role comes like how Swami came on earth and he was acting like one among us, but he was actually the universal love and the divine being in that form. And though we are also like that, I think just like Hanuman said, now I'm your servant when I'm in the world, but then when I'm in meditation, I know that you and I are one. That's my thought. I think the separate identity, that ego, will be there as long as we are in the world in this form. And it will not go, but we act with the knowledge of universal love that exists throughout. Saira.
Yeah, thank you, sister.
Thank you.
Saram, I don't know this will help or not. I was English educated, but I love Chinese proverb. Chinese wisdom, you know. But I don't know anything about Chinese character, so I can't read, you know. Of course, my wife is Chinese, you know, he is from Chinese school, but she hardly got time to tell me, you know. So for 40 old years, why my brother, my elder brother, sent me to an English school. Why not Chinese school, you know? There's so much I love about Chinese culture, tradition, the wisdom and all that. Lao Tzu, Confucius and all that. Then after coming to know Swami, then I realized it was a blessing in disguise, you know. Because you all know, we come to know so much about spirituality, truth about life, you know, the sadhana, all that, all because of Swami teaching. And there are so many books in English, you know. And in Chinese, there are only few, right? But in English, there are so many books. You see the changes? Regretting not in Chinese school, right? And then 40 years plus, come to know Swami and found that a gold mine is there, a diamond mine is there, you know. So no regrets, first thing. Second thing is like, at one time, I did thought of want to become a TM meditator teachers, you know, transcendental meditation teachers. Then I give up because of my work, first thing, don't have time. Second thing is because it's very costly, few $1,000s, and it takes quite some time to learn. So I totally, you know, forgot about it. But you see, later in life, now I'm sharing, conducting Soham meditation. The divine arrange, you know, I don't even need to pay money, you know. And I never thought one day I will be conducting meditation for other people, sharing their experience and knowledge. But the divine arrange. If I become a TM teacher, I don't think I'll be conducting Soham meditation for free, you know. I don't think so, you know. You see, a lot of things are very strange, you know, right? You have the desire, but you don't have the time and the finance to go after something that you think you want to do. And yet, the divine in your heart knew that you are the right person. You don't need to go for meditation teacher training course, right? Which is very costly, right? And then you can start conducting, right? Of course, as years go by, the meditation workshop become better and better and better, because every class I learn something, every class new knowledge come, you know. So this is how you grow, you know. Then the other thing is, as I said, I work 12, 14 hours a day. So for family business, I got no time to do seva. I have a very good friend, always tell me I go to, you know, I go to old folks home, I go to orphanage and all that, you know. And he come and tell me he felt very happy. Then I was thinking, where do I got time to do all this? Really no time to do, you know. But after coming to know Swami, so many things you can do, you know. Right? He will show you the way and the thing that you can do. Right? The seva is like, you know, like non-stop. But the first thing is we have the heart. We have the heart. Swami show me, I will do. And that is important. I think that's where he heard, you know, from your heart that this is something you want to do. And he will show you ways and means to cover all your time, your financial and all that. I wouldn't say it's easy, but there is a kind of happiness when you do all his work, you know, which you can never imagine. Sairam.
Okay, so back to Brother Manoj mentioned about I separate myself from myself so that I can love myself. I think there's something called mother love, which men will not experience that as much as ladies, you know. So when a child is in, let's say a child is drowning, it is a mother who will jump into the river to save the child, you know, and probably not the father, even though the mother may not know how to swim, because the love is so intense, okay? Whereas the father, you know, will probably look for a rope or a float, you know. So, yeah, Okay, anything else on this before we move on to the second one? Okay. Selflessness and humility, okay. So true cosmic persons want to prioritize the welfare of others over their own personal desires and ego. Okay, humility defines their action. They see themselves as instrument of a higher purpose rather than as separate individuals. Now we know that the Swami is very frugal, okay? The room which he live in is a very small room, and the bed has got a thin mattress on it, and that's all he has, okay? And whatever property he has, he equal it to the trust, so that the trust will be, the money there will be used for the welfare of, others, okay? So we have also seen some philanthropies, okay, some big tycoons, okay. They normally, when they're still alive, they build a foundation, okay, so that they can, what they have, okay, will be for the welfare of others, rather than, they will give everything to the children. Okay, any comments on this? Otherwise, maybe go on to the next one.
Billy,
Yes.
sorry. So humility, I think knowing Swami's room is so simple. And then went into the interview room, was there are two rooms, one outer, one inner. And it's so plain, so simple. So we can see simple living, Swami's simple living also make us reflect ourselves. Right? We should also be simple and humble. I don't know, this is what I learned from when saw Swami, right? That's the first thing, humility, being always humble, and being simple. Then the other thing, he see themselves as instrument of higher purpose. For me, it's like not seeing an instrument for higher purpose, rather than like, there's it is his blessing and his grace that you got the opportunity to do something selfless, something good, although the whole thing is higher purpose, but you always feel that this is something I can do, this is something I love to do, and the divine also like showing you the way, let's get it done, let's grab the opportunity. So this is how this is my experience, Sarah.
Thank you. Okay. Next is inner peace and equanimity. Cosmic person is one to maintain a state of inner tranquility, unaffected by external challenges or dualities like joy and sorrow, success and failure. Okay, at times when Swami received a lot of brickbats, okay, people talk bad about him, but he just maintained his peace, okay. He said, why do we have to worry, okay? What others say about us, okay? And Swami always mentioned, okay, a true devotee is one who practices equanimity. All right. So how can we develop this inner peace, okay, and equanimity? Yeah.
Sarah, I think when we external challenges, like sorrow or that, definitely for many of us, we are actually affected because we have not reached self-realization. We have not seen oneness yet. But we are like, you know, we have Swami and we like praying to Swami and then faces the challenges. We chant Gayatri and then somehow we can overcome it. But we haven't reached a level where we are unaffected. In fact, we are very affected, you know. But inside us, we are calm and we are moving forward, and we know it's very difficult. So we pray for Swami to show us the way, you know. So at least rather than complaining, you know, or what I call negativity about the challenges and difficulties, right? So I think many of us will do feel sorrow, do feel difficulty, right? But with Swami, we go through slowly, right? And then the calmness. Here, you're equanimity, not affected. But we are affected, but yet inside us, we are quite calm, I would say. You know, life is like that. It's always up and down. Whether you like it or not, you have to go through, right? But with Swami, is much more slightly better for us. We understand life slightly better. Silent.
Okay. Now, if you remember, now I think some time back we have got in one of satsang we talked about 5 prayers that Swami wants us to see every day. I'm God. I'm God. I'm not different from God. Then the second one is I'm the Akhanda Para Brahman. And the third one is I'm Satchit Ananda. Then the fourth one is grief and anxiety can never affect me. Okay. So I was thinking, why Swami wants us to affirm ourselves that grief and anxiety can never affect me. All right. Because as you go through life, at a certain point of time, when our loved one pass on, okay, grief is something probably unavoidable, okay. And therefore, Swami, to maintain this inner peace, Swami wants us to affirm to ourselves that grief and anxiety can never affect me. And Swami said, develop this faith and convince yourself of this truth by repeated assurance and prayer. So Swami wants us to say this prayer. And then the fifth one is, I'm ever contented. Fear can never enter me. All right. So a connected person is the happiest person in the world. Okay. And then fear can never enter me. I remember the first interview that I had with Swami. For some reason, he said to me, do you know what is fear? F-E-A-R. Swami said, false evidence appearing real. Okay. So sometimes you fear, you know, because we do not, we think that what we see is real, but it's actually false evidence. Okay.
Sairam, Brother Billy.
Yes, Sairam, sister.
Can I just add on? I think these bodily sensations like ego, fear, grief, anxiety, it takes quite a lot of practice to realize that it is supposedly to be left at the bodily feeling or sensation. It takes time. From my own experience, I lost my dad, who was like a pillar of strength for me during COVID. And it was a time where I couldn't even do, as the elders, I couldn't even do the proper funeral rites for my dad. So grief, pain, anger, everything, even to understand what actually death was, there was a first time in my life at about 45 years old. That's when I realized what death actually means and how painful it can be. So over the years, the grief understanding that it is only at the bodily level. It took time, and through practice like self-inquiry, self-realization, going back into Swami's work intensely, diverting the attention, going into meditation, all these slowly brings the attention to who we really are, is the cosmic person or the atmic consciousness or the soul, whatever that you want to name it. There lies the actual feeling that you need to put into that situation. And when that turns into compassion or inner peace or equanimity or universal love that we discussed in the first slide, selflessness, humility, everything, when that is understood, that is what the soul is supposed to give towards that feeling of grief, that feeling of fear, ego, name it, everything that is on that bodily sensation, then it is rightful. I feel that is the ultimate true cosmic person level. So it takes a little bit of practice or years of consistency to get to that level. Sarah.
Thank you, Mr. Shamini, for sharing. And anyone else like to share on how do we develop inner peace and equanimity? I think I've shared this some time ago. No, I was in Sri Lanka for the Sri Lanka conference, where suddenly I realized that I lost my phone. Okay, so the inner peace was being disturbed. Okay, so I searching my backpack. Where is it? I searched no less than 10 times. Okay, is it in this pocket, in this folder? Is this folder? So I ran out, to the canteen. I couldn't find it, so I came back. What should I do now? Okay. Then suddenly a realization came to me. Okay, if tomorrow I just drop dead. Okay, will this loss of the phone affect me or not? Okay, so worst case scenario, I need to buy a new phone and go through the inconvenience of building back the contacts that I have in my phone and things like that. All right. So I think acceptance is one way of what they call developing inner peace. Okay, what is the worst that can happen? So always ask this question. Okay, what is the worst that can happen? All right, because when things happen, it has to happen. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next one. Okay. Wisdom and awareness. Okay. So wisdom comes from deep spiritual insight and an understanding of the interconnectedness of all the systems. Okay. So I think this is where Swami wants us to practice meditation, because it's only from the inner peace that wisdom will come. All right. It's only when we are connected with the divinity inside us that wisdom will be there. That's why Swami wanted us to be always connected with him. Okay. Swami obviously, whatever you do, always think of him in your mind. Okay, so that he can direct and guide us.
Saram, Billy. I think the other thing is, in everyday life, sometimes we have opposition, different opinion, different view. But because we know there's unity in diversity, sometimes we just have to remain calm. For example, like our SSIO, suddenly, we got the other group coming, and then another group coming. You see, all of us have to remain calm and be patient, and we know there is a reason and there is a time, right? So in life also like that, we meet a lot of challenges, right? Rather than criticizing and condemning, I think remain calm and wait for the time, the answer and all that. I mean, we also talk to Swami. Hopefully, earlier answer we can get, you know. But we always see there must be a reason, though we do not know the reason, and that makes us what I call aware, right? There must be a reason why this thing happened, even though it's not like happy news to us, or maybe it's challenging news to us, right? I think calmness and awareness is very important when we meet this kind of situation. And sometimes if we keep on asking Swami, right? I think most of you do. Sometimes the answer will come in 1 week, 2 weeks, or even few months later. If you are very persistent and very sincere, sometimes you suddenly realize, oh, this is the answer. You know, not easy, but then as long as you have good intention, good purpose, somehow you'll find the answer. It might not come directly, but it can come indirectly. Sarah.
Sairam, just to add on to what Brother James has said, one of the it's very simple yet easy way of developing wisdom is silent sitting. It's very simple, right? It seems like you're just sitting down silently. How are you going to get all the knowledge? How are you going to, realize a lot of things? But it works in it. It has its own magic, just like all types of meditation techniques and all that. When you just sit silently with yourself, you will reach a state of knowing, of just pure knowing. They say pure knowing, meaning that there's not much of conditioning in the mind at that time, and it's just pure awareness where there's silence. And when you touch that state of silence, you won't realize how this knowledge, how you even understand this, and then suddenly everything will just start to make sense to you. It's like as if your intuition has been given like 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 some grace or something like that. So you become more intuitive. One thing. The other thing is, you may not know it. Like we do the Vedam and all that. You may not know it. You may not know how to chant the Vedam spontaneously, just by sitting by yourself. It may not occur to you to even chant the Vedam and all. But when you once people are chanting, and then when you go through the meaning, everything will make sense to you. You have probably have no background knowledge of studying Vedam in the past. You may not even know anyone who has taught Vedam. You may not even have family members who chant Vedam, and not even that. Even the Bible or other scriptural text, when it's read to you, somehow or other it just makes sense, because and you don't see the what Professor Suresh mentioned earlier. You don't see the difference, but you see the similarity in everything. And then you also feel so grateful that the similarity is a normal person will just intellectualize, okay, wow, I can see this, but it comes from within the heart, like, wow, look at this, it's so amazing, something so simple, like a common cultural significance may take you into a different level of happiness and gratefulness, just because of that state of wisdom that you have developed, that state of knowing that you have developed. Sometimes knowing not necessarily means, like, when Swami gives lectures and all, of course, Bhagavan's, we're not comparing with anybody here, but knowing, we cannot have the assumption or the perception that knowing means everything, all the knowledge on the planet, everything should be known in your fingertips. That's not necessarily knowing, because that's grades to self-realization, right? So as you're climbing the ladder, sometimes just knowing your own emotions, your own automatic pilots, or your patterns of negative habits, your thinking patterns which are very unhelpful, the things which are stopping you from self realization, from God realization. Just by observing that itself, you can break free from this pattern. Just why when Lord Buddha, he went all over the place. During his time, there were a lot of yogis, a lot of sadhus, a lot of realized masters. And Lord Buddha didn't attain enlightenment just by himself. He was a crown prince, and then he stepped out of the kingdom because he saw suffering. And he went to different enlightened masters, and to learn the yogi culture. And he actually imbibed the yogi culture. He tried pranayama, he tried this and that, all meditation, all that. And after that, he did like fasting for very long periods. And then he still didn't find the cure for suffering. And then eventually, after all of that, he was sick, and he was passing the river, and he almost got swept, in the current of the river. And he came out from the other side, and he gave up. He said, no more, no more looking outside, no more finding, praying to this god, praying to that god, praying to this deity, find doing this puja, that puja, nothing. He just sat down under the tree. He looked within himself, and then thus he liberated himself, and then the whole world knows him as Lord Buddha. So similarly, we go out looking out there, that realization is something that beyond your reach. And Swami Sarvapriyananda says very clearly, and from the Advaitic perspective, you are already realized. What you need to do is to just just use the sandpaper, like you do some sand when if you've the schooling, in school they let you do some projects and all, then they give you some sandpaper, and they ask you to use the sandpaper and smoothen the surface of the wood, or whatever using the sandpaper for. Similarly, the whole point of our sadhana process is just like using the sandpaper to scrape off, or to polish whatever is within yourself, and then you can just untie, and that form of liberation itself is very powerful. So from the point of the programs offered by SSIO, from the National Meditation Team, we have on the first and third Saturdays, every first and third Saturdays, we have a group conventional silent sitting from wherever you are in the whole of world. Some people join from Sri Lanka, different people join from different countries. So we all sit together and we observe silence for 30 minutes. So hopefully more of you can join, and more of you can be in tune with yourself. And the more you're in tune with yourself, whatever is taught in the satsang, it'll be more simpler for you to digest, and your well-being will also improve just by being with yourself. Sairam.
Thank you, Mr. Britton. So in fact, this particular satsang that we're having is based on the study guide, 108 nearest to know thyself. Okay. So number 5, self-realization is the purpose of this satsang is so that we get more awareness. So one day we become fully self-realized. Okay, number 6 is altruism and service. Okay, serving others selflessly become their way of life as they recognize that serving others is equivalent to serving the divine. The actions are guided by a sense of duty without attachment to outcome. Right? So anyone would like to share the experience on selfless service?
Saram, brother.
Yes, Saram.
Yeah, perhaps this aspect of altruism and service, I just like to share something that we experienced in the middle of the pandemic. And what happened was that was in September 2021, when everything was under lockdown, and so our ladies in the center, we decided that we will do Gayatri chanting in the morning. So they asked me to be the MC for the session, and we had to wake up five something in the morning, like just with what we do for meditation, so that we can start the Gayatri chanting sharp at 6. Because the ladies felt with that time there were people dying every day, and so we wanted to chant to help with universal healing, because the whole world was locked down. So so when we had the first session, when I went in online, I realized that there were only 7 of us. And I thought, oh, it's such a small group. Can we really heal the world? But nevertheless, we continued with the chanting. And to chant the 108 times, it took some time. And we ended finally at about 6:40 a.m. in the morning. And not long after that, I noticed my handphone, there was like a missed call and a message. So I looked into it, and I was very surprised that at this time, so early in the morning, a business acquaintance, a lady, sent a hi to me. So I was thinking there must be something. You see, this chanting that we did was to serve and to heal and to help others who are not well and whoever is in pain around the world. So when I replied back, I said, oh, we have just just concluded our chanting to pray for healing of the world. And 2 minutes later, she replied, please chant for me. She said that she has been having suicidal thoughts in the morning. So alarm bells started ringing in my head, because just over the few months, the 4 months earlier, I was organizing a lot of seminars as a community service online for our youths, our teenagers, for parents, for devotees. And one of the areas was on how to handle a person if ever a person mentions he or she wants to commit suicide. And so I was in touch with a lot of psychologists and counselors at that time. And then I was thinking, wow, so fast I'm being tested, to have someone telling me that she's suicidal. And this acquaintance is overseas. So I called her immediately, and I spoke carefully with the person, and thinking of all the pointers I had learned from all the psychologists and psychiatrists, how to handle this person. And I spoke to her, she told me a lot, and I spoke to her for almost an hour. And by that time, I've gone through with her some solutions, because what happened was she was in a very tight financial situation, and she could not come into Malaysia. She could not fly back to see how she could handle her properties, whether to lease out, rent out, or to sell. Nothing could be done during the lockdown. And so for 2 years, she had not been back to Malaysia, and she owes the bank and all that. So just before we ended our conversation, I've already by that time given her some solution. She told me, she asked me, Doreen, do you know why I sent you that hi Doreen WhatsApp? She said, actually, I wanted to WhatsApp message a friend, happy birthday, and then end it all. But when I checked for my friend's contact, her new profile photo was a picture of Sai Baba. So she said, immediately I thought of you and WhatsApp you instead. So I was stunned. Because I had personal doubts how 7 of us could chant to help the world, to heal the world early in the morning. Somehow, you see, the vibrations of our chanting has reached out to this lady in another country just when she was having suicidal thoughts. So I believe, never doubt what we want to do, our intentions, whether it's to serve through chanting or prayers, whether it's to pray for others. I think whatever good intentions we have, Swami knows how to connect us. Swami knows who helps. Thank you, Sairam sisters and brothers. I just wanted to share this, that whatever it is, always be happy and do your Gayatri chanting regularly to stay connected. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your sharing, Sister Doreen. Okay. Let's move on, okay?
Billy, just a reminder, I think in our side movement, sometimes we organize a certain thing. We do expect like quantity, and sometimes when it's minimum turning out, some leaders will feel disappointed, you know. So I think we have to always practice what Swami teach. It's not the quantity, it's the quality that is important, right? So whenever they organize a Soham Meditation workshop in different center, different state and all that, they always have, it's quite common that 1-2 weeks before the session start, we have conversation and they tell me, James, should we cancel? I need a 4person or 7person. Then I have to encourage them and tell them, don't worry, even 2person I have to go, because Swami said, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. You just do your duty. But when the day will come, you go to the class, it's like full house, you know. So don't expect. Just leave it to God. You just do your part, right? So if we remember, it's not the quantity, it's the quality that Swami wants us to give or to share, then you won't be disappointed at all, right? Sairam.
Thank you, James. Next one is respect for nature. Anyone that comment on this? Right, Swami has always mentioned that we need to make sure that everything is in harmony, okay? If the 5 elements are not in harmony, then there'll be a lot of chaos in the world, okay? Right, spiritual detachment, okay? While actively participating in the world, a cosmic person is one who remains unattached to material possessions, desires, or outcome. This detachment enables them to act with clarity, purpose, and free from bondage. Okay? So quite recently, we received a rather big donation for our Sai school in Puchong. Okay, one devotee, he had left in his will. Okay, 50% of the portion of his the sale of his property, should go to the Sai school and receive a check for $1 million. Okay, so this is where we need to understand that whatever material possession we have, when you leave the world, is not ours anymore. Okay. So next one is inclusivity and tolerance. So cosmic person is one who embrace all faiths, all paths, and believes as valid expression of the universal truth. So this is where the first logo given by Swami to the Sai organization is the Savadharma logo, and Swami wants us to actually practice this inclusivity and tolerance. Okay. Just last weekend in Malacca Center, they organized interfaith prayer for peace, and the Buddhists was there, you know, the Christians was there, the Malaysian Hindu Sangam was there, the Baha'is was there, the Jain was there. Okay, and we had quite what you call very good sessions. Okay, where each of the faith came and share the activities. Okay, and one of the resolution that came out is that, you know, for whenever they have major functions, they should invite all the faiths to join them. So in fact, the Buddhist group said, come this Vesak day, they would like to invite all of us to join them for their procession. Okay. And next one is inspiration and leadership. A cosmic person naturally inspires others through their words, action, and presence. They lead by example, embodying the virtues that they espouse. Okay. So Swami has always mentioned, okay, you should what do you call lead by examples. Okay. Okay. So anything, Suresh, on this? Before we move on further.
Please move on.
So now coming to the questions, okay. What will I do to cultivate my sense of compassion, love, and service to humanity, and thereby see myself and everyone as embodiments of the divine? Okay. So we got a sharing from Sister Raji. Okay, she said, "Never forget Swami. Never trust the world. I'm grateful for all that he has given me. I'm satisfied with what I have, leading a quiet and simple life. See good in all, love and helping all who comes my way." Okay, keep myself always occupied, talk less, see good in all. Whenever I'm in trouble, I will sit and meditate, enjoy music, and most of the time connecting with Swami. Okay. So this is the questions we didn't have time to really sit together with members of our group. So whoever want to share will be most happy. Okay. So any sharing from the others? What will I do to cultivate my sense of compassion, love, and service to humanity, and thereby see myself and everyone as embodiments of the divine? Right. So there was one conversation with Swami and his students many years ago. Okay, and Swami asked a question: "Do you know what is the rarest phenomenon in this world?" So the student gave many answers. Okay, and then Swami said the following: "The rarest phenomenon is to be contemporary of the living avatar. And even rarer than living with the avatar is to know the living avatar. And even rarer than knowing the avatar is to love the Lord in human form. And even rarer and the rarest of everything in this universe is to get a chance to serve the Lord." Okay. So whenever the opportunity arises, okay, do not hesitate at all, okay, to be of service, okay. And then All right. In fact, the answer should be here. Okay. How does the awareness that Sai is pervasive and is cosmically present everywhere influence our day-to-day living? So when we talk of cosmic being, we always think of Swami, who is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. So how does the awareness that Sai is pervasive, is everywhere, influence our day-to-day living?
You see, these questions are actually reflecting the mantra, because Satpurushāya, the ideal, the higher reality. So you say, well, higher reality, yeah, this one, how to see Sai in everyone, how to be more pervasive, how to be more compact. So that is the higher state of reality. So you see, it's like a mirror. We take the flower and put, oh, Swami, Satpurushāya, we say like that. But now it's a mirror. So that particular ideal, I see myself. And now I have to increase my frequency in order to experience the higher reality in me. That is what this exercise is all about. So the questioning is about looking as if you're looking at the mirror based upon that ideal that we just discussed.
Okay. Any other comments on question 2?
Billy, I think like many of us will be like daily talking to Swami, and then where the Swami is in us, around us. I think this also makes us very aware of Swami being in us and around us, right? Sarah.
So we have 2 more minutes, okay?
So this is the last part, right?
Yeah, this is the last part. Yeah.
So we've got exactly another 2 minutes more. So just to capture the thing, I hope when you're looking at the study circle guide for the 18 names, I hope you see it in this light. Then you'll see a very powerful effect. You look at the mantra, you contemplate on the inner meaning of the mantra, and then you must sit down and reflect whether how is this a mirror to me? How am I reflecting this? So the questions just enable you to facilitate a process by which you can see a reflection of that in you. And then we can see what efforts needs to be taken like that. This is how the whole journey is about. Then you'll find a deeper relationship with the text. Okay, anyone else? Anything else that you want to say? Anybody wants to make a final comment? I think maybe Billy, you should really read this. If you ask me seriously, this particular thing that Bhagavan himself mentioned, what the greatest phenomena is to be a contemporary of the living avatar. Even rarer than living the avatar is to know the living avatar. Wow. Living at that time and then to know. And then even rarer than knowing the avatar is to love the Lord in the human form. And even rarer than the rarest of everything is to get a chance to serve the Lord more. This is very powerful mantra. Man. Sometimes we take for granted, right? So, but this is all powerful. Okay, so 10 o'clock, we've come to the end of the satsang today. So next week, believe we are not finishing. We have finished the third one, isn't it?
So we're finished with this particular verse, and next week we'll be back to group 4 to finish on the questions. Okay.
And then after that?
Then after that, I think we need to get back into the bookshop, the rooms again to to talk about the remaining four verses. So I think each group has another 2 more verses to finish.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Until we meet again, Sai Ram.
Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Saram, and thank you everyone for joining us
Saram,
tonight.
take
We
care.
see you next
Good
week.
night.
Good night.
Sai Ram.
Thank you, Saira.